Hi, this is Stevie. I wanted to show you how I used a photo that I took as inspiration to do a little painting of a farm in Colorado. I took this photo when we were on a train trip going through Colorado. It was in the fall, so the tree colors were really pretty. So I used the house and the barn as inspiration and created my own little scene, keeping those beautiful trees that I like so much, and then adding other elements that I wanted to add. So here you see that I sketched out the scene, at least the parts of it that I wanted to keep, and I've changed quite a bit of it, but I added elements that I really liked and rearranged everything. And this is what I have. I had penciled it in, and now I'm going over it with my Micron 05 pen. And once I get that inked in, then I'll go ahead and start painting. I like the Micron pens because I'm left-handed, and the ink dries really fast so it doesn't smear. So I'm just getting everything sketched in, and you'll see that I've jumped ahead quite a bit just to keep this video a reasonable length. The trees that I'm sketching in now around the house are the ones that I'm going to keep the brighter yellow color. I want that to be the focal point of my painting. So then the trees that are around the barn, they will be more subdued when I get to putting the color on. Here I'm using a dry cleaning pad which has little bits of eraser in it to clean my painting. And the idea is I drop those bits on the painting and then rub it around with that pad and brush it off. And it does a great job of cleaning up the entire surface. So now I'm moving on to painting, and I'm going to start with the sky. And I was mixing a bit of manganese blue with cobalt blue and a tiny bit of permanent rose. And I pre-wet the sky first. I generally pre-wet the sky when I do a sky. I just like how the color flows. So I just continue to move around the sky, dropping in the color. And then next I will want to paint the trees. And if the sky is still wet, I don't really care at this point. It'll be dry enough that it won't bleed very much. I was just mixing some Antwerp blue with a little bit of transparent burnt orange. And that gives me a nice green color, a dark green color. And first I'm laying in some green gold, a light green color, and then I'll blend the dark color into it so the tops of my foliage will have some light because they'll be closer to the sun or the light source. So just going around, dropping that in. I'm not doing it on those two trees that are going to be the yellow trees. I'll just leave them unpainted for the moment. So I continue to go around. Now I'm dropping in my dark color, and I like that dark color close to the buildings because it'll be nice contrast. The roofs on those buildings will be light so that the dark green will contrast against that and make them stand out. And notice that on those trees that are in between the house and the barn, I dropped in some raw sienna on the tops of those trees just to make a little bit of variation and separate it from the layer of foliage that's behind it. Now I'm going back in, picking up more dark color, just continuing on around, getting my dark color close to the house, and then adjusting the tops of the foliage with the lighter color. And I'll have to let that dry up a bit before I start in on the yellow trees, so I'll just move on to something else. I just tend to move around the painting looking for dry areas or areas where the colors won't bleed together as I paint. So there was some foliage behind the barn, getting that in, little bits and pieces here and there. Around the house, I wanted to get some color there, so what I did was I pre-wet the foliage areas there, and I'm dropping in some permanent rose, and then I will go back once that's done and darken up the bottoms of those plants with some green. And I just touch it along the bottom, and then the color bleeds up so that the pink color still stays on top. And I didn't really think about this when I did it because it was in the fall and there probably wouldn't be pink flowers, but oh well, it looks nice anyway. So I just continue on with that, and then along the side of the house I changed it up a bit and just added some light green or yellow to the tops of that foliage. That is my Hansa yellow medium that I added there. And then I decided to go back and darken up the sky. As you know, watercolor dries lighter, and I thought it was too light, so I mixed up a bit more of the manganese blue and cobalt blue with a tiny bit of permanent rose, and went back in with a darker value there. Notice that I pre-wet the surface and didn't cover all the areas. I left some white spaces to make it look like there's some clouds in the sky. Now I'm moving on to the roof of the house, and what I did with that is I just used the color that I had mixed up for the sky and added a tiny bit of green to it to make a gray color, and then I dropped in a little bit of raw sienna just to put some light on it too. And on the windows, I just wanted a dark value there, something like a black, but I don't like to mix black on the palette, but rather drop the colors in. So I started out with ultramarine blue in those windows, and then added some transparent burnt orange, and that makes it a black color. So again, just needed a dark value to contrast against the light color house. And I'll also need to go back and paint the shadow side of that house. So I'm going to do that. I hope my windows are dry there. I think they are. And I want to drop in a bit of reflective color on that shadow side of the house as well. And it could be reflective of those pink flowers that I had put in there. So I dropped a little bit of the permanent rose on the shadow side of the house. Just getting the eaves painted with a shadow color. Now I'm going back in on the roof and just making a few lines to indicate some tiles on the roof. Trying not to overdo it. It's a little wet, so it bled a little bit. I wish that they were a little bit thinner, but oh well. So now I can move on to the roof for the barn with the same grayish color that I had mixed before. And that barn, the roof on the barn slopes a little bit on the side. I don't know if you can see that. I tried to indicate that in my drawing. It just curves down on the sides a little bit. Getting under the eave on the other side. And the barn was kind of a flat roof, so you don't really need to do too much to it. Now I'm going back in with my ultramarine blue and my transparent burnt orange to indicate the window on the well, I guess that would be the front of the barn, and to paint the door. And I tried to leave some white marks to show those crossbars that they put on barns. I wanted to do X's, but I didn't really have the space, so that'll have to do. And then this would be the shadow side of the barn that I'm painting now. So I used alizarin crimson, which is a cooler red, and I mixed it with a little bit of my transparent burnt orange and maybe just a tiny bit of my anthraquinoid red, which brightens it up a lot. I'm going to wait now before I paint the lighter side of the barn to give the shadow side a chance to dry. So I went ahead and I'm painting in the path, or the driveway, and I used raw sienna for that, and now I'm going back in with some transparent burnt orange, which is a bit darker, to indicate the shadow side of the road. And notice my strokes are flat to the horizon. So I try to make the strokes going back and forth across the road so that it makes it sit down in the painting and it looks flat. There were there's some foliage in the corner of the painting. I'm just quickly getting that in with the same process I used with the other foliage in the back of the painting in the distance. Now going back to the lighter side of the barn with a little bit lighter color, trying to keep it a little lighter to again show the turn in the form on the barn. I do want to get it a little more red though. And now on to the fence posts. I just mixed up I mixed ultramarine blue and the transparent burnt orange together to get a black color for the fence posts. and I'm sorry this is out of the picture. You'll see the rest of it in a minute. But onto the trees, and I'm using Indian yellow. First I wet the area for the trees. Dropped in Indian yellow, raw sienna, and the brighter yellow is my Hansa yellow medium. Indian yellow tends to lighten as it dries, so I added the Hansa yellow because it's brighter and I wanted that bright color to stand out. Onto the tree that's over the barn, and I wanted that to be a little more subdued than those yellow trees. So I mixed up my green color. I'm getting it dark by the edge of the barn roof, and then as I move up the tree, the color will get lighter, or I'll drop in some lighter color. I think I dropped in some raw sienna and probably some, it was either Indian yellow, I'm not really sure, Indian yellow or the Hansa yellow. And then quickly going over, I wet those areas by the barn, like the lawn area or the ground area. I wet them first, and then I just quickly go over them with different colors. I used green gold and raw sienna by the barn, and then by the house I used those two same colors plus the darker green that I had mixed, because just to indicate some grass by the house. And you can see how nicely those colors blend when you wet that area first before you put them down. And I really like that technique for covering ground area. Now I forgot that I had to go back in and do the trunks on those trees, on the yellow trees. And then the next step I was really sorry I did, and you'll see it in a minute here. Some of it's going to be out of the picture, but you'll get to see it when I'm done. I decided to go back in and add some branches to those trees, and that was the part that I really wasn't very happy with. Now I'm just adding a bit of spatter to the road to make it look a little bit rocky. Those trees, the yellow trees, I think are okay, but I thought those branches that I put in were too large, and it was still a little wet, so they tended to spread out a little more. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this little painting. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment if you wish, and thanks a lot for watching.